Good evening, world. It's Randy Chavs 50 here, and back to you with another video. And this one consists of why I believe a shotgun is the worst, yes, the worst home defense weapon out of them all. And out of them all, I mean out of the weapon types: handgun, rifle, shotgun. It's down there on 3 for a reason, because I think it's the worst. And I'm going to give you my 5 top reasons why I believe that. Caveat to that, I know in my previous videos I mentioned how there are 3 top weapons that people use: handgun, shotgun, and rifles, and how I also use a shotgun for home defense. But I think I failed to mention that it is actually the backup to one of my backup guns. So it's not one of those go-to home defense guns that I will use. It's one of those ones, if things get really, really hairy and there's nothing else for me to get to, or my other ones fail, I guess I'll go find this shotgun because it's my last resort. Granted, if that's all you can afford and that's all you have, go for it. But if you have other choices such as handguns or AR-15 or AK-47 type rifles, go for it. Number 1 on my list. Now, they aren't in any order, but they're how they kind of populated in my brain in way of importance. So 1, there's not enough ammo. Not enough ammo at all. Like I said, I have a Mossberg 500 that was my very first weapon ever. It only holds 5 rounds in the tube and then 1 in the chamber. So that's 6 total rounds. Just 6. I'm going to show you. Look. That's 6 rounds I just took out of my Mossberg 500. 6 shells. And that's it. Now, granted, you can have some type of attachment to your butt stock to have more rounds in it, but how much time is that going to take to reload, right? How much of a disadvantage have you put yourself in to have a gun that you just shot out all of your rounds and now you're sitting there struggling to load something while the threat is still advancing on you, or more threats for entering your home, or something preposterous or strange has happened in that situation, correct? So ammo depletion will happen like that, especially if your house is a lot larger or you're shooting in a larger area and you're nervous, your adrenaline's pumping, and you're missing many of those shots, right? Or you're getting those shots on target, but it's not stopping the threat as you thought it would. You know, it's not like the movies. You're not going to shoot somebody with a shotgun, they're going to fly back 20 feet and blow into a billion pieces. They may still be advancing on you, right? So that goes into my point number 2. All of that stuff is going on, correct? And recoil may be too much for follow-up shots. Boom, first shot's going. You're trying to acquire that target. They're still coming at you. You're still trying to get those good shots on target, but that recoil is so snapping. It's so much with a 12-gauge shotgun that may be too much for you if you are trying to do something quick and accurate and efficient in a faster manner. So recoil problem number 2. Number 3, that increased recoil may make it impossible to carry that weapon and maneuver around your home. Let me elaborate on that. If you are somehow trying to search for that threat within your home and you're going around your tight corners, going into your bedroom to clear your house, and then boom, pops up the threat, if you're trying to shoulder it a certain way, let me demonstrate it. Going around your corners is probably going to be tough to do it like that, right? So many people with AR-15s, they'll put it like this, right? I'm trying to duck down. They put it where it's kind of over their shoulder so they can get into that doorway. If you do that with this shotgun, with that recoil of this 12-gauge or even a 20-gauge shotgun, and you see that threat and you fire, that recoil is going to push that gun across the room. That recoil is going to sling this gun out your hands, and you're done for. You don't have a weapon anymore. So that's an issue. That's one of the top issues to me if you're trying to consider clearing a room or going through a room with a rifle. Now, I don't know. Maybe people won't recommend doing that, but if I'm trying to go through a room and maybe you're trained on a rifle and that's what you've been taught, like kind of pull back like this so you can see better, and the first thing you see is that threat, you're going to pull that trigger and that gun's going to go flying. So granted, what I would do, I probably would tuck it and open the door like that. So if the threat does show itself, I'm able to control my gun more. But this is just some thought that you can have just in case you do come upon doing that in your self-defense situation that may happen. So that was number 3. Number 4, this weapon may or may not be too heavy for your loved one, your spouse. You may be a good size, like I'm 6'2", 255 pounds. this gun is still, granted, I'm gonna be honest, a little bit heavy for me. It's not heavy, but if I'm trying to lug it around opposed to some of my AR-15s or my handguns, it's a little bit heavy. That's a little bit a heavier choice to choose if I have a choice, right? So what if I want my wife to have a gun to defend herself when she's at home by herself? And my wife, granted, is 5'9", 100 and blank pounds. She's gotta love me for that. She may not think that that's the best choice for her due to its girth, due to its heaviness. She may like something that's more lighter like this, an AR-15, if you wanted something that had more range, had, you know, I guess, greater firepower in that rifle round opposed to something like a pistol. Now, she will choose a pistol. She has a couple pistols on her own. She will choose this, but let's talk about the long guns here. So, number 4 is a big thing. It may be too heavy for your spouse. It may be too heavy for you to lug around your house, trying to go around corners and do it comfortably and efficiently and proficiently. Yes, I use both. So, number 5, one of the big ones to me, because I've heard of it a lot. When I first got a shotgun, I was so excited to do that. And then I started thinking about it. I said, myself said, huh? I said, what if I do that when somebody's already in my house? And I'm thinking I'm trying to do it to intimidate them, to scare them away, but now they're seeing it as a challenge. So now they know for a fact that I have a gun, and now they're gonna engage with me and shoot at me in my direction first because they wanna get the shots off first. Or if I'm in my house hunkered down somewhere, calling 911, and I do the to try to intimidate somebody, now I've given away my position. Now they know exactly where I am, and now they'll probably be coming for me, right? So that's something to think about as well. I don't know if that is gonna help you or hurt you, but it's just something to consider if you're ever in that moment, or if you're ever considering, handgun, shotgun, or rifle. So handguns, like I said, they're a good choice. They're compact. You can have a heck of a lot more rounds than just 6. This one right here, I'm trying to look at the magazine, 16. So look at that, 16 rounds to defend your life in a compact type of weapon. You can hold it, open doors freely, tuck it in your holster if you're, trying to transition to something else, easy. AR-15 rifle, a little bit lighter, depending on what the gun is made of and depending on what kind of attachments and accessories you have. It can be way lighter or heck, it could be comparable in weight to a shotgun, but you have this that has a 30-round magazine, or you can get more, you get a drum or a 40-round, 60-round, anything like that, but flashlight a little bit easier to get to opposed to a shotgun, depending on how your placement is. You can clear these hallways, clear your rooms a little bit easier when you shoulder it, because once you see that threat and pull that trigger, your hand is here on this pistol grip, and the recoil is not nearly as strong as a shotgun, and that gun's not gonna go flying over your shoulder like that shotgun will. So there's a lot of benefits to a rifle. Now, some may wonder why I didn't put over penetration on that list. And I didn't do that because that's not a specific problem to the shotgun in itself. Because any kind of weapon that you use, you're gonna face some type of penetration issue or ballistic issue that's gonna make you scratch your head or scratch your chin. So whether it's a handgun, rifle, or shotgun, each of those rounds, if you miss your target or if you hit your target, they can still go through your target, the drywall, the stud, the outside wall to the house, and into your neighbor's house. They can go through all those things and hit a family member. That's why it is crucial to pay attention to your sight picture, your sight alignment. Remember and know who's in your house, who's supposed to be in your house, where they are located in your house, and also your surrounding areas. So with the AR-15, those rounds travel fast and far. Some people may say it's not wise to have one when you're in an apartment. I somewhat agree with that because you don't want to go through a floor, or if you're in a neighborhood where the houses are close, you're going to want to consider that. But in the moment where you're trying to defend yourself, you're worried about your life in that moment. But right now, when your life is not in danger, those are things to consider. Those are legit things to consider. But what do you want to use that's going to be the most optimal tool for you to use to defend your life? So those are choices you can have, but I would say, in my personal opinion, I'll steer away from a 6-round shotgun. Granted, you can get one that has an extended tube that has 7 rounds, that takes 7 rounds, and then one in the chamber, so 7 plus 1. But still, how does that compare to a 30 round magazine in an AR-15 or a 16 round magazine in a full-size handgun. So just take those things from me. I also will say this: everything I say is basically, it's just my opinion, and I want you to do your own personal research and just take this as a supplement to what you find. Make sure you follow all your laws in your state, follow all your safety principles that you've learned or that you will learn before you carry a weapon. You don't want to have any kind of accidents. You want to make sure you do everything right and everything by the book. And remember, safety is paramount. Self-preservation is key. Let's all do this the right way. It's late. I know I'm stumbling on my words. Let's all do this the right way and the safe way. And let's make this a better world. And let's protect ourselves as much as we can. Randy Savage checking out here. Y'all have a beautiful night. Checking out. Deuces.